Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my health journey. Today we are talking about the Freestyle Libre, or Libre, and this is the 14-day monitor. Now, I already have the monitor, I've already charged it. If you guys are looking right out of the box, you're going to have to charge the thing for a while. It has a little monitor on it that will show you on the display how long it has left in the charge and how long it will take the battery to get to full. It has a little battery monitor. It doesn't necessarily tell you how long you have to charge it for, but at least it tells you how much battery life it has left. So with this one, there's a little button right here, and you press that, and it turns it on. And as you can see, it's pretty much saying that it needs a new sensor. We can start a new sensor. This one has about half-life of battery left over on it. It's a little bit late. So with that being said, I wanted to get this done so when I do it, I can kind of sleep off what little pain it produces. Really doesn't produce a whole lot of pain, but to turn it off, you just push that button again and it will automatically start shutting down unless you hit cancel, and then it'll stay on again. So that's how you pretty much use that at the beginning. You want to make sure that you charge it. You hit the little button. It's going to say new sensor. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and let this guy charge. And with that, let's get into the actual procedure of putting in the sensor. Now, I have the little box here. This is what it looks like. There you go. And that is the Freestyle Libre 14-day sensor. Okay, it looks like that. And that little guy right there is the sensor. And that is what we are going to be putting on my arm. So, little pro tip for you guys is when you switch out your sensors every 14 days, switch out your arms, because you don't want to put it in the same arm. You want to give that one a break. And you may not want to put it in the same place as you did the last time that you put it on either arm, just to kind of save yourself a little bit of a headache. It's kind of like when you prick your fingers. If you guys ever had to do the blood test finger prick for your glucose, you know how that really feels when you keep pricking the same finger over and over again. Now, for those of you who are jumping in and don't understand what the heck this is, the Freestyle Libre is a glucose monitoring system. I kind of assume that you knew that when you came in here, but maybe you didn't. We have the applicator here. I just showed you guys the monitor. So we're going to open up the applicator and see what's inside. So there's a little opening tab. Yours might be different. This is just how my pharmacy has it. Little ASMR there for you. All right, so we have the box here. It's now open. We have the instructions. Let's just throw those away. We don't need those. If you guys do this new, please do read the instructions. That was a little joke. If you are new to this, don't just take my word for it, but this is going to help because I'm going to show you step by step what to do. So here we have the applicator. This is basically, if you've ever pricked your finger, this is like the big version of the lance. This is where you will have your injector. There's a little springy spring inside of here. Put it on your arm, push down, and it'll pop that spring into your arm. There's a little protective case here that you untwist. There we go. And now the applicator is ready. There's literally nothing in there right now, but we will set the sensor up in here. In here is your sensor, and typically you get some wipes. Okay, so typically you would have wipes. If you don't have antiseptic wipes yourself, sometimes they come with them. This box particularly didn't for some reason, so I'm going to go grab a few antiseptic wipes. You want to wipe down your arm and clean it up and then let that completely dry, because there is a sticky substance on here that keeps the sensor on your arm. So let me go jump and do that real quick. Alright guys, so I just wiped this down with some wipes. Now I'm going to do the right side. You can do either side. but I'm going to do the right side down here. Again, this is the empty applicator. I just showed you guys that. I opened up the container here, and there is a way to do this. It's pretty much fail-safe. If you see that right there, aha, there's this line right here, and that lines up with this little line right here. You can see that right there, and it just kind of connects together. So I can show you guys that now. This line and this line just go together, and then you're going to push down. Okay, I know that sounds kind of scary, and it is when you first do it, because that scared the crap out of me the first time. And then you just pull it apart. There's now really just the empty shell in there. And now you have the applicator with the needle. If you can see that, there you go. You can see that little needle there. And that goes into your arm. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, put it on our arm, pop it in, and stick it. So I'm going to put this little guy over here just to keep it out of the way. You can actually keep this all kind of in a neat little spot if you want to, or if you are used to doing the finger prick thing, you might have a jar or a trash can right next to you. Just throw it away, get rid of it because you don't need it after this. And when you get rid of the sensor itself after the 13 days or however long your sensor lasts, you can take it off. Be very careful of pulling it off, and then you can put it in a bag or anything and just kind of throw it away. So let's do the fun part here and see what the heck happens when we do this. And this is always what I call sarcastically the fun part, because I hate this part. So I'm going to do it under the arm. Make sure you're not hitting the muscle, because that kind of sucks when you are trying to work out or something. I would say do a little bit of a flex if you can, and find kind of a good spot up the arm, and then find a spot that's not going to be too affected by your working out or any kind of exercise that you're doing. And then you can put it in multiple different spots. There's a good spot right back here, and I'm going to put it right there. And then you just push and it pops. It goes a little click, and then there's a little bit of a sting, and it sticks. So let's do that.
2,000 years later.
Okay, that was it. So you want to hold it there for a few seconds. I didn't even really feel it this time. Sometimes you will hit a little bit of a nerve, but sometimes not. I kind of hold it on there for a few seconds, and then you just, let me see if I can show you guys. You just release, and there it is. So that will stay right there, hopefully for all of the days that you need it to stay there. This little guy is now garbage. Now what we're going to do is, one, just make sure that it is completely sealed around. There it is. There we go. I know I'm a little pale skinned, so it's a little harder to see because it's a white thing. Now that it's in, we're going to take our monitor, and as I said before, you can see that it says over here, new monitor. So we're going to hit that. This is a touch screen, and then all right, now it says 60 minutes. So in 1 hour, what that will do is it's going to get rid of the last monitor that you put in, and it's going to set up the new one, and it takes a little bit for the blood to cycle through and for the monitor to kick in. I do suggest when you take off your clothes, like your shirt and whatever, that you do pay a little bit of attention to it, because you don't want it to rip off. I've had that happen before, and it kind of sucks. It will be about an hour before this takes place, but it's working its magic right now, and I will come back tomorrow because, as I said, and as you guys saw, it is pretty late, and I have another appointment in the morning, but I do need to know what my glucose level is. And for those of you guys, again, who haven't used these monitors before, there are these. These are the Freestyle Libres. These are the 14-day ones. There are different types of these ones. And then, of course, there's Dexcom, which is a completely different system. I haven't been able to use that one. I have heard that it does go to your phone or a monitor, depending on what you want to do. And then when we come back, we can do a deep dive on what this actually does. All right, guys, it's been about a day. I have put in my new monitor in my arm. I have activated the sensor. It only takes about an hour, but I did it pretty late, as you guys saw. Went to the doctor and I had my feet done. If you guys want to see the before and afters of my last time that I went to the foot doctor, I have a video. I will put that up here for you guys, so you can watch that if you're into disgusting feet. To them their own, I guess. Now I can show you guys how this little guy works. There's a little button right here. Go ahead and hit that. It turns on. And you can see that. It says scan monitor. As you guys know, makes a little sound. And it has gone up because I just ate. And yeah, it's at 190, which is definitely not great. I've eaten, but it does show you actually your daily pattern here. You can see earlier in the day I had dipped into the moderate zone, which is where kind of you want to be, this line here. Sorry, let me get that straight there for you. You kind of want to be in that zone. When you eat, it will spike up and down. With this one, you can actually set your glucose levels where you want it to be at. So you can tell it, I want it to be between 100 and 150 is a good zone. So that's what that little line is there that shows you. And then it will show you what the rest of your day kind of is. If you want to not have to go into the actual scanning and you just want to see your results, what you do is you hit the little button and it pops up back with that little sensor thing, and then you just hit the button again and it pops up with that, and then you can go over to either check your glucose, or you can go into, there we go, or you can go into your little history button here. See if I can get that good for you guys. See, review history or check your glucose. Now, this one does a bell every time that you do something with it. So if I scan it, it's going to go doo-doo-doo. So that's checking your glucose. It actually tells you up top there as well. Up top, it tells you exactly how many days you have left on your scanner. It tells you what time and all that. You can go into settings and set that all up if you want to set your glucose range, basically where you're supposed to be. I just looked it up online and said, okay, between this, and that's where it's at right now. You can ask your doctor where your glucose should be at, and then you can go into review history. It has a average, there we go, your logbook, your daily glucose, your daily graph, and your average glucose. And then it has your daily pattern, your time target, how many times you've been in target, low glucose events as well, which is good if you're the type of diabetic that goes up and down. I kind of am. If you've seen how I kind of dipped back into the normal zone, well, if I was in the normal zone and I didn't eat, it would have dipped into the danger zone. This one doesn't let you know when you're in a low glucose zone. You have to scan it to know, but your body will definitely tell you if you need to eat something. So I'm not that bad off to where I will crash. On the side here, you have a little port. Focus in. There's a little port right here that you can, plug it in. And if you're still doing the finger pricky thing, it has a little hole down here, so you can actually put your strips in here, lance your finger, put the strip in here, and it'll read that as well. I'm not sure if you need a specific type of strip for this to read it. Sometimes you might. I haven't had to do that. So if you, let's say there's a backup and they don't have the sensors. Well, you might have to get your old Lancy Lance out and your old tab out and check it that way, but it will read it, it'll save it for you. And again, there's a history, it has a log book. And in that logbook, it will pretty much tell you, I mean, this thing goes back pretty far. So it will go for at least a couple of months back, and it'll tell you what your glucose levels were for the days that you scanned. So that's actually really good if you're looking for a balance. And then you can actually, when you scan it, you can have options. There's a little pencil button up top on the corner here, and you have rapid acting insulin, long acting insulin, food, exercise, and medication. So you can actually, there's a list here. You can see there it has different things, and you just hit that and say, okay, I ate something. So you hit it, and then you hit OK, which is up on the top corner here. So that's pretty good. And so it'll put like a little apple there saying you ate something, which helps you figure out, okay, what did I eat that made my blood sugar spike? And what did I not eat that made my blood sugar stay relatively low? Now, you will probably, and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm just some dude on the internet. Every time you eat, your glucose levels will, your sugar levels will go up. That's just kind of how things happen. For me, figuring out what the best mode of doing stuff is really helps, because, okay, I spiked or I didn't spike or I'm under. So it's really good to have as a tool to kind of manage your diabetes. So with that being said, that's pretty much all I have for this one. I will come back in a couple of days when it's time to take out the monitor and put back in a new one. This time wasn't actually that bad, as I said before. I still don't feel it. A little pro tip, you can bump them. Okay, placement is very important, especially if you're active, maybe rolling around, moving, bumping into things with your shoulders. You want to make sure that you place it in a good spot where that's not going to happen. Where I have it at right now is pretty decent because it's not going to like rub up against anything. It's more towards the back of the hand. You do want to be careful when you're scratching because you can accidentally pull it. It won't pull out. The adhesive is still pretty strong within the first couple of days that you put it in. I do suggest not running hot water over it. You can take a hot shower, just don't run hot water over the sensor by itself, because that kind of loosens up the glue and makes it where it doesn't stick as long, and you want it to stick as long as you can without it either falling off or losing its adhesive, because especially if you're more bump prone, it will just kind of come off, and then oh well, you have to wait until you put in the next one. Also, there are some patches that you can get, so if you're a little more active doing stuff, because I know people who have diabetes, different types, there's two different types, but the people that I know who have it are pretty active. If you're doing more physical activities, bumping into things, rolling around, things like that, you might want to get a patch or a band. They have different ones that specifically cover that. So when you're doing something active like working out or doing some kind of sport, it covers the monitor so it doesn't fall out when you're rolling around or getting tackled if you do football or some kind of contact sport, or rolling around bumping into things. It doesn't just kind of rip off your arm. So those are actually good investments if you do some kind of high activity sports where you're more likely to run into that kind of situation. So with that being said, I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If it wasn't, okay, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. That's fair. I am pretty new to this. Again, I am not a doctor, and I am just showing you what helps me. If you guys want any kind of exercise tips, dietary food, see what I eat, see what I drink, see what kind of exercises I do. I go to a gym. If you guys want to see what I do at the gym, I will ask them if I can film in the gym. Hopefully, I will pick a time that there's really no one there, because I know how people don't like to be filmed, and I respect that. If you guys would like to help out the channel monetarily, there is a Ko-Fi link down in the description below. It does say Mike W Productions. That is my other channel name. I don't really want to make another Ko-Fi account when it all goes to the same place, and this is kind of an umbrella of that channel anyways. Even when you put in your AdSense account, it all connects to the same thing. So that's why I have one Ko-Fi under Mike W Productions. And speaking of that channel, if you guys like to watch either All in the Family or Avatar The Last Airbender, not the movie, the cartoon, I am doing reviews, watch and reviews of those as well. So they are on that channel over there, Mike W Productions. So I do want to thank you guys for getting this far in the video. I also want to thank all of my subscribers. Hitting the subscribe button really does help.
All you got to do is just tap it in. Just tap it in now.
And we will see you next time. Peace.